this journey of bhakti, of meditation, it's a very long one. It can take us janams, many lives to achieve. Or if Guru Sahib's kripa and the effort we put in, it can take us just a second to go from here right up till there. WhyGuru Ji Ka Khalsa, WhyGuru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to another episode of Sikha Di Bhagat Mala, where we are exploring the Sakhis of Gursikhs from the time of Guru Sahib, as mentioned by Bhai Gurdas Ji and retold by Shaheed Bhai Mani Singh Ji. So today's Sakhi is going to be about Baba Budha Ji. Now, Bhai Gurdas Ji in Var 11, Pauri number 14, they say, Jitta randava pala hai, Budha Buddha ikmanati aave. So, Bhai Gurdas Ji speaks about Bhai Jitta randava, which we covered in this previous Sakhi, and in this Sakhi is about Budha Buddha ikmanati aave. So, initially, Baba Budha Ji's name was Bhai Budha, and then he was then given the name Buddha ikmanati aave. And Bhai Gurdas Ji says that Baba Budha Ji focused and meditated on WhyGuru with ikman, with their mind in a single focus. So what is the story of Baba Budha Ji? So Bhai Budha Ji one day was grazing cows in the jungle, and he wanted to meet Guru Nanak Dev Ji. So he took a pot of cow's milk and he went to Guru Nanak Dev Ji, placed it in front of Guru Nanak Dev Ji and did Matha Tekna. Bhai Budha Ji then says to Guru Nanak Dev Ji, he does a benti and says, Hey Sache Parchar, Deen Dayal Malak, can you please help me, show me the path on how my cycle of life and death can be destroyed, can be cut. And Guru Nanak Dev Ji, looking at this child, because Bhai Budha Ji was just a child back then when he first met Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Guru Nanak Dev Ji looks at this child and he says, you're just a child, to see bacche ho, you're still very young. And how did you even think about such a big question that please guide me to destroy my cycle of life and death? If you go and ask a child now, what is it you want? They will say, get me a toy or I want to play. That's all they think about. And Guru Nanak Dev Ji says, your age is to play and still have fun. Why are you thinking like that? What happened? So Bhai Budha Ji says that my village in Kathu Nangal, one day a group of Mughal army came to my village. And I'm seeing all of this with my own naked eyes. And what I see is that as they are, rummaging through my village and with their horses, with their army and so on, we had this kheti bari, means we had farms all around our houses, and it was the time of harvest. So in our farms, I could see that some of the crops were still young, they were yet to be harvested. Some crops were already harvested and some were already gathered and they were about to be distributed and so on. And in some of the farms, Bhai Budha Ji says that some of the plants, the vegetation were even still growing. They haven't even ripe yet. And Bhai Budha Ji says that these armies, they came and they looped our whole village. They just took everything, the harvested vegetables, the ones that we have gathered, and even the ones that were still growing. Everything was destroyed, everything was damaged. They did not care about which one they should take, which one they should not take. They did not care about anything. Whatever was in their path, they just destroyed and took everything. And it got me thinking, ki death is just like that. It does not see whether you're young, you're old, you're a youth, you're a king, you're a beggar. Death or Jamduds do not see that. Whenever the time comes, if you have to go, you have to go. And Bhai Budha Ji says that I'm still a child, but my death could come anytime as well. So this is why it got me thinking that just like the Mughals who just came and destroyed everything, for me is how can I save myself from the Jamduds, torturing me and from me going back into the cycle of life and death. Guru Nanak Dev Ji, listening to Bhai Budha Ji, Guru Sahib was very impressed and said, by age you're just a child, but mentally your mind is not of a child's mind. You look like a child, but you think like a wise man. So your name should not be Buddha, but your name should be Buddha. Buddha means someone who's wise, who has all the knowledge and the wisdom of the world, the experience of the world. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji says, Bhai Budha Ji, the hukam for you is you need to meditate on WhyGuru, and that's how your cycle of life and death can be cut, can be destroyed. Now, Bhai Buddha ji says, Ki Sache Pacha, how do I meditate? How do I do Simran? Because some people say you should do Simran vigorously, uchi, fast, slow. Some people say you have to do Simran, ekant vich, sit down on your own and slowly do Simran. Some people say do Simran with every breath. Some people say with every breath you have to do 20 Simran jap. So what is the method to do Simran? So Guru Nanak Dev Ji says that there are 4 stages, 4 steps of doing Naam Simran. Now when we say Naam Simran, Simran means remembrance of Naam, means the mantra that has been blessed to us. So whichever dharam that we are in, we have been blessed with a separate or a different mantra. As Sikh, the mantra that we have been blessed with is WhyGuru. So when we speak about Simran, we are speaking about meditating on the mantra WhyGuru. Naam Simran could also mean recitation of Gurbani as well. So Naam Simran is not just limited to WhyGuru Simran, but it can also expand to listening to Gurbani, reading Gurbani, doing Sahaj Path, doing Akhand Path, anything that reminds you of Paramatma. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji says that there are 4 stages of Naam Simran, and they are called Baikari, Madhama, Pasanti and Para. So I'll try my best to explain this as simply to all of you. So the first stage or the first step of Simran is Baikari. Baikari is basically where sound is produced by your mouth and you're reciting WhyGuru Simran or you're reading Gurbani aloud. So you say WhyGuru, WhyGuru, WhyGuru. So sound is being produced by your mouth, by your tongue, you're reciting it out loud and you can hear your own sound as well. So that is called Baikari. So the mind now focuses on the sound produced by your mouth. If you're saying WhyGuru, it hears WhyGuru and your mind focuses on that sound current. If you're doing Ik Onkar, Satnam, and that's the way your mind focuses by listening to your sound. Now the second one is Madhama. So Madhama is recitation of Naam without the tongue or the mouth moving. So it is now at your throat level. So your tongue doesn't move, your mouth does not create a sound that someone else can listen, but your throat vibrates when you're reciting WhyGuru. So this is the second stage of Naam Simran where you no longer say it out loud. Then the third stage of Naam Simran is called Pasanti. So Pasanti is where now Naam Simran happens at your heart center, at your heart point. So here, no sound is produced by your mouth or by your throat, the vibration, nothing, but Naam is happening at your heart center. And people who does Simran at Pasanti level, at the stage of Pasanti, Simran can happen at a very, very past phase. There are certain Gursikhs that when they meet each other, they will hug each other and do Naam Simran. Now, I personally have also been in Sangat with those Gursikhs, and when we hear them, because Gurmukhs who do Naam Simran 24/7, Naam is resounding, is just ongoing throughout their whole body, throughout each strain of hair on their body. And Naam Simran happens in their heart at a very, very fast pace, even faster than their own heartbeat. So Guru Sahib says, at the stage of Pasanti Jap, the Simran happens automatically, very, very fast, and now the mind no longer have to focus on external sound or vibration, but now the mind is now focused internally already. So the effort now from Baikari is very high. You have to make the effort to recite and listen to your sound. Then now at Pasanti level, the effort is very much less, and now Naam Simran is happening on its own. The fourth stage of Naam Simran is called Para. Para is the stage where Naam Simran happens at your navel point. So at your navel point here, what happens is Naam Simran now is happening throughout your whole body, every strain of hair without any effort, and it's going on its own 24/7. Even when you're sleeping, some people would have experienced this as well, that when you're sleeping, somehow at Amrit Vela, whatever time you're supposed to wake up, Naam Simran or Japji Sahib di Bani or any Bani that you have been doing job of that Bani will start to be recited within you. If you're very conscious of it, you'll be able to listen to that jap. But sometimes what happens is that Bani itself will make you wake up to then do your Nitnem and your Amrit Vela. So someone who does jap at the para level, Naam Simran happens throughout your whole body, throughout every strain of your hair, which means that someone who does your Sangat, they can hear Naam coming out, resounding from your body as well. And when they look at you, when they do your Sangat, they are themselves inspired to do Naam Simran as well. So Gurbani says, at the stage of para, what happens is Gurmukha rom hartyave. That every rom, every hair is now doing Naam Simran. And at the stage of para, your mind is now very much focused and it does not get disturbed or distracted by any influence from outside or by your own mental load or information as well. So the mind very easily gets to focus on Naam Simran. Now Guru Nanak Dev Ji says to Pai Buddha Ji that if the blessing of doing Baikari Simran is one, supposedly, just think about it, if the Baikari Simran, the fruits, the blessings of it is counted as one, then the Simran of Madhama is 10, and of Pasanti is 100, and of Para becomes 1000. So at every stage of Simran, the blessings, the fruits of doing Simran becomes tenfold. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji says to Pai Buddha Ji that at Para level, the mind quietens and now is able to focus on Naam Simran. And Guru Sahib says, just like ghee, when you put it in food, when you cook it with your food, what happens is you can smell the ghee, you can taste the ghee, the ghee in it, and it gives you the taste and the fragrance that you want from the ghee. And Guru Sahib says, just like that, when the mind is able to focus on the Naam Simran that you're doing, then the mind will help you to taste and feel mukti, feel the taste of liberation that you are looking for. So the key point here is that every stage of Naam Simran that you do, starting from, loud Simran through your mouth, through your rasana, like Bhagat Kabir Ji says, Kabir meri Simrani, rasana upar naam. So through your mouth, then the focus goes in at your throat, at your heart point, at your navel. Why? Is because you want your mind to be able to focus when you're doing Simran, that it becomes so effortless that Simran is going on its own while you're working, while you're walking, while you're talking and interacting with people. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji says to Pai Buddha Ji that you have to start doing Naam Simran at the Para level. Para level means through your navel, where Simran is happening on its own. And what happens when you are going to do Simran at this level is that your life will become very, very long. You will live a very long life and you'll get to serve all the Guru Sahiban after me as well. So true enough, Baba Buddha Ji lived a very, very long life to do seva of 6 Guru Sahiban and have darshan of 8 Guru Sahiban in their whole life, just by doing Simran at the Para level, the Para stage. Now, there's this book by Sant Singh Ji, Rara Sahib Vale, which now has been just published and printed, and is called Naam Dian Jugtian. So in that book, exactly what Guru Nanak Dev Ji had mentioned, the 4 stages of Naam Simran, Baikari, Madhama, Pasanti and Para, Sant Ji has explained very, very well on what each stage of Simran is, how it should be done, and what you will experience at every level. So some things that I've shared here in this video has been explained by Sant Singh Ji, and that is how I was able to share it with you as well. So a bit of information that Sant Ji has shared after the 4 stages of Simran. So after the Para level, there's no other stage. So what happens after the Para level? So Sant Ji says that after the Para level, there's no other spiritual stage. But what happens is now the mind is now focused at your third eye, which is in between your eyebrows. So your third eye is now open and you will start to experience Brahm Gyan. You will start to experience knowledge, wisdom of Brahm, of WhyGuru around you. You will start to understand the secrets of how things work, of how WhyGuru works as well. And this avastha is called Anhad Shabad. So Anhad Shabad is basically the unstrung or unstruck Shabad, the sound that you can hear without two instruments hitting each other. And Santaji says that at this stage, some people, when they have reached the avastha of their mind coming to the third eye, they will be able to see some bright lights, or they'll be able to hear some sound, whatever sound Santaji has explained as well. But that is not the ultimate destination or the ultimate avastha that we want to be in. Sometimes some people, especially when you do Simran, the reason why this information must be shared is because some people, when they hear or when they see, when they experience certain things, they become scared, and because they do not know what they're experiencing. They might think that this is unusual or scary and maybe backtrack their Simran a bit. So Santaji says that you will experience sounds, smell, sight when your third eye is open. That is you experiencing Anhad Shabad. But this is not the ultimate stage of Brahm Gyan, of liberation. Above that is something called the Dasam Dwar, the 10th gate. And at this stage, Santaji says that there is no sound, no activity. The mind is completely quiet and silent. Shunya means completely zero. You don't hear any sound, you don't hear any activity. And this is the avastha of Sun Samad. Sunna means completely zero, shunya, zero, no activity. Samadhi, like we mentioned in the previous video, Samadhi means now you have completely absorbed yourself in WhyGuru. And this is the stage of thoughtless awareness. You're completely aware of your own being, of your own Atma, your own existence, your real self, and you're completely aware of Paramatma, which you have absorbed yourself in. And you're completely aware of everything around you, but even then, you are separate from everything. So, Sant Ishwar Singh Ji then explains the spiritual avastha from Para right up till you reach the avastha of Sun Samad at the Dasam Dwar. So, Sangaji, this journey of bhakti, of meditation, it's a very long one. It can take us janams, many lives to achieve. Or if Guru Sahib's kripa and the effort we put in, it can take us just a second to go from here right up till there. But the whole point here Guru Sahib is saying is you have to put in the effort. And when we do Simran out loud, hear our sound, WhyGuru, WhyGuru Jap De, that is us putting in effort. And slowly that effort will take us from point A right up to point B, which is our destination, which is Paramatma Nal Mila. So hopefully we have learned from this video, from Guru Sahib's Sikhya on how to do Naam Simran. Please share your comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Pula Chukan Dikhima. WhyGuru Ji Ka Khalsa, WhyGuru Ji Ki Fateh.